You may have heard that you can pick up some really delicious vegan food at IKEA, and that is definitely true. In this video, I'm going to be showing you all of the vegan goodies that I picked up at a recent trip to IKEA, and I'm also going to show you what I do with those groceries and how I turn them into delicious, easy vegan meals at home, just because I think it's a little bit more helpful to not just show you what I got, but also how I use what I got. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. Make sure you stay tuned until the end because I'm not just showing you what I got this time, but I'm also going to be showing you what's on my list for next time, as well as some vegan items that are no longer available at IKEA and a new vegan product that's coming out in the fall of 2020. So definitely stay tuned because I made sure that this video was jam-packed with helpful content and ideas for your next trip to IKEA. If you're new here, my name is Nicole, also known as Nikki Vegan, and I make all kinds of vegan recipe videos and lifestyle vlogs to help make eating more plants a lot more practical, budget-friendly, delicious, and easy. So if that sounds like something you'd be into, make sure you hit the subscribe button. And let's get started with the first item I picked up at IKEA, which is caviar. And I know what you're thinking, caviar is not vegan. They have vegan caviar at IKEA, and it's actually made out of red seaweed pearls. So there is a non-vegan caviar there that's made out of fish eggs, and then there's this one, and they actually look really similar. So I didn't think they had it when I went to IKEA because I was looking in the refrigerated section and I saw the caviar, but this was sitting right next to it, just kind of over a little bit. So if you go and you think they don't have it, just keep looking because they're right next to each other. Now you can use this vegan caviar in any kind of vegan seafood dish. So if you're making like a chickpea tuna mixture, for example, this would give it a more authentic tuna flavor. But what I'm going to show you how to do is make a vegan sandwich spread. This is something I grew up eating, being that I am Norwegian, and I know that caviar seems like a really fancy ingredient because it can be a very luxury, high-end product that's like hundreds of dollars for an ounce. But in Norway, creamed caviar spread is as normal and as inexpensive as mayo, and it's used in kind of the same way. And if you like smoked salmon and that smoky flavor, you will really like this. So it's basically just a little bit of vegan mayo into a blender with the vegan caviar, a pinch of salt, a pinch of smoked paprika, some salt, and a little splash of vinegar, and you blend that all together until it turns this light pink color. And then I spread that onto some toasted bread with some thinly sliced cucumbers and a sprinkle of dill, and voila, you have a very Scandinavian open-faced sandwich that definitely reminds me of my childhood, and yes, it's an acquired taste, but it's delicious, so definitely check out the recipe down below. Next is my favorite item to pick up at IKEA, and I don't mean that as an exaggeration. I literally have 3 of these in my freezer right now, and this is the vegan veggie meatballs that you can get in the frozen section. I'm actually going to put this down because it is frozen and it's very cold on my hand, but I love those meatballs, and they're actually my favorite frozen vegan meatballs to buy. There are some really great ones on the market. I love Gardein, I love the Whole Foods brand, but these are really good, and I'm pretty sure they're gluten-free. They're made with chickpeas, they're made with onions, bell peppers, garlic, and spices, so they're really flavorful and they have really good ingredients. However, I don't actually think they're very traditional tasting because Norwegian meatballs and Swedish meatballs are very simple. They usually just have a little onion, salt and pepper, maybe a tiny pinch of nutmeg or something, but very simple. These, on the other hand, are really flavorful. They've got lots of veggies and the bell pepper flavor is very pronounced. And for that reason, I don't think that it really works that well with like gravy and potatoes and lingonberries, but instead I like to serve it as kind of a side dish or with spaghetti sauce and make like a weeknight spaghetti with veggies. It's super delicious and flavorful and hearty, and something I make all the time, but not the most traditional. But stay tuned until the end because I do think that they're going to do something really soon that will change all of that and make the flavors a little bit more suited for gravy and classic flavors. The next thing I found is this cloudberry jam, and this is actually from my mom because she grew up in Norway and she loves cloudberries. It's a lot more common over there than it is over here, but she's told me many times about this cloudberry dessert that she just thinks is the best thing ever. And basically it's just a whipped cream, like a really thick whipped cream, and then you kind of fold the cloudberry preserves into it, and that is the dessert. And so I think it'd be pretty easy to make a vegan version. You just make a vegan whipped cream either with the new Silk heavy whipping cream or with a store-bought option, but I think that you could kind of make that and then swirl this into it and maybe even crumble some of those ginger cookies on top. I think that would be such a delicious dessert and something that would probably be very nostalgic tasting to my mom. So Mom, if you're watching, definitely try that combo because I think it would be really good. Right next to that, you will find lingonberry preserves, and this is very similar to cranberry sauce, and you can use it in both sweet and savory dishes. And so growing up, we often had this with dinner because normally you would have meatballs and gravy and potatoes and vegetables and lingonberries. We didn't always have access to lingonberry, so sometimes we would substitute cranberry sauce, and it is very similar to cranberry sauce. It works in kind of that same way. So if you love cranberry sauce, you will probably love lingonberries. It's like tart and tangy and a little bit sweet, but it's also just really good on toast. Sometimes I will do a nice piece of sourdough toast with some vegan butter or some cream cheese and then this on top, and it is so good. And this actually has a lot less sugar than some of the canned cranberry sauces that you'll find at the grocery stores. Next, I found a cool side dish, and this is basically a mix of grains like rye and barley, and it has onions, garlic, jalapeno, lingonberries again, and then some lemon. So it sounds like it's going to be super flavorful, and I'll probably use this the same way that I would use quinoa or brown rice. I think this would be a nice way to kind of shake things up, try something new, and it sounds like it's going to be really tasty. Right next to that, you will see a pasta that also happens to be vegan, and they are shaped like little mousse. So if you have kids that like fun pasta shapes, or if you yourself just like kind of having whimsical pasta shapes, it is all vegan. It's just made with semolina flour, and it's definitely something that you could pick up the next time you go. Next, I picked up these vegan cookies from Ikea, and these taste like fall. They have cinnamon and ginger and cloves. These happen to be organic too, but they are so good this time of year in the fall and around the holidays. They actually remind me a lot of Norwegian pepperkaker, which are basically just very thin little pepper cookies, pepper gingery cookies, and they kind of taste like gingerbread in a way, but they have this very specific thin, delicate crispiness that makes them so good when you dunk them into a cup of coffee or a warm cup of tea or even some almond milk. They're like the perfect dunking cookie. They're also the perfect ice cream cookie sandwich cookie. And to do this, I'm just gonna take some vegan ice cream. Here I'm using a non-dairy vanilla, but also something like the So Delicious Snickerdoodle or any kind of cinnamon pecan-y type of ice cream would work really good with the flavors in the cookies. And you can just scoop the ice cream directly onto the cookie, of course, but what I like to do is actually scoop it onto a cookie sheet and press it down flat, and then I'll pop that into the freezer just for 10 or 15 minutes and then put it between the cookie. And this just makes for a little bit of an easier sandwich assembly. You're not going to break the cookie when you're trying to squish it together, and it looks a little bit prettier. So I just pop this back into the freezer to harden for 10 minutes and they are ready to serve. Ikea is also a great place to pick up some candies, and they have some really good vegan gummy options. My personal favorite are the Sour Vikings, and they say vegan right on the outside, which makes it really easy and convenient, and they are so good. If you like Sour Patch, they're kind of similar, but I think they're not as hard, and they're bigger. So I really love them. Highly recommend if you're only gonna get one. Those are my favorite, but they also have a sweet and sour jelly. So the sweet one is in the red bag and the sour is in the light greenish yellow bag, and they are both really good and also made without gelatin, so they are totally vegan friendly. Ikea also has a cafe section where you can get hot food ready to go if you want to have lunch either before or after you start shopping. And that's where you'll find their vegan hot dogs, which I've actually never had, but they're made with lentils and I know they're really popular, so comment below and let me know if you've tried them and what you think. You can also get the vegan meatballs there along with some sweet stuff, like they have a vegan chocolate mousse, and this one sounds really interesting because it's made with carrots, millet, and sea buckthorn, so that sounds really cool. Ice creams are apparently some of the most popular items that they sell at the cafe, so it's really cool that they included a vegan version for people who don't do dairy, like myself. And unfortunately, there is no longer the crumble, or at least that's what it seems like. I know that a lot of people were really into the apple crumble. There was like an apple pear, and then I think there was a rhubarb one as well. Doesn't seem like they have those anymore, but they do have this dill sauce, which is on my list for next time. It is flavored with cinnamon and cardamom and dill, so that sounds really interesting, as well as their oat milk smoothies. These are going to be in the refrigerated section, probably over by the Caviar, and they have two different flavors, a berry flavor and a pear. While I was prepping for this video, I actually was reading on the IKEA website that they're coming out with a new vegan meatball, which I'm so excited about because it sounds like it's going to be a lot more authentic tasting and something that works a little bit better with gravy and potatoes and those sort of flavors. It seems like they're going to be flavored with some onion, some apple, and spices, so they're going to be, I think, a little bit more mellow. Haven't tried them yet because they're coming out in the fall of 2020, which is any day now. If there are any vegan options that you get at IKEA that I missed in this video, please let me know in the comments below so I can add it to my list for next time. And if you want to see me do a vegan at this place or that place for a different kind of store, then please let me know as well, and I will try to do that for you. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you're not already subscribed, and I will see you guys in a video very soon. Bye!